Before we go into the tuning of the bass drums, there's one important element that I'd like to point out. Since it's such a large surface and that white head is pointing directly at the crowd, it's important to make sure that the logos are in proper alignment. Take extra time when changing the heads. Get the student to put the drum on, put the head on the drum, align the logos, then put the rim and the tension rods on, and then begin to tune the drum. Logos that are misaligned can create a visual distraction for your ensemble. You want to present a good image. Take a few extra seconds and make sure that those logos are properly aligned. This is going to go a long way into presenting a good image for your ensemble. Now let's talk a little bit about muffling the bass drums. Before we actually tune the drums, it's probably important to know what your muffling scheme is going to be. A lot of people choose a weather stripping and add it to the outside of the drum. This is less cosmetically appealing, but it does allow you to experiment more easily. The more common practices of muffling use internal muffling systems. Some people may go out and get the 1-inch weather stripping air conditioning foam and take some contact cement and actually glue that around the inside of the drum. You want to have about 1/8 of an inch reveal all the way around. This will allow the head to be muffled consistently and will allow a good tone. One manufacturer's drum heads have a system that's already applied to the inside of the bass drum head. This tray accepts pieces of felt. They easily slide in and are secured in place with a piece of sticky Velcro. You can apply as many or as few of these as you would like to get the desired sound out of your bass drums. It's not a good idea to use a pillow or something like that inside the drum. You want to make sure that you have even muffling all the way around. So how do you decide whether you're going to have a very resonant sound or a very dry sound? Well, if you have experienced players that are going to play more demanding parts, it's really good to have a little bit more articulate of a bass drum sound. If you have less experienced players and their subdivisions are going to be based on quarter notes and eighth notes, you may want to stick with a more resonant bass drum sound. Deciding which of these choices to make will give you a good characteristic sound and will allow your bass drum voice to speak properly within your ensemble. Knowing your performing venue is going to be very important in helping you determine how to muffle your bass drums. For indoor venues like dome stadiums or gymnasiums, indoor arenas, things like that, it's probably a good idea to apply more muffling to your bass drums to give you a more articulate and controlled sound.